Hello everyone, welcome to Blaster Garage. Today I want to update you on the project I'm currently working on, give you where I'm at and what the plan is for it, which is a Raptorstrike combat shotgun. Now, for those of you who are familiar with the Nerf Raptorstrike, it's a giant sniper rifle shell, but it's essentially a retaliator on the inside. Very underwhelming performance, but a great looking shell and a really nice aesthetic. So I already took the stock off of one Raptorstrike, this one, to put onto my Fury X carbine, the one that I discussed in another video, because the stock looks really cool and it worked well for that. I also have lopped off the entire front of it. So what's left here is not much of the original Raptorstrike, but as you can see, it maintains that sort of very characteristic silhouette with the mag well going through here. That's kind of cool. And the Nerf Raptorstrike, very underwhelming as a sniper rifle setup. Not a lot of power, not a lot of accuracy. I am going to be upgrading the spring. This is the piece that holds the factory spring, but this actually has less room in it than the plunger tube itself does. So it kind of lends itself to a larger spring pretty easily as long as you bore this out. So I found, I'm not sure what this one is actually from, but it's very close to being in there. I'm in the process of boring this out as we speak. This is a tiny bit shorter than the factory spring, but it's a thicker gauge of spring. I'm not sure exactly how much more powerful it's going to be, but I think for a close range pump action shotgun, it's going to be lovely. And I don't think I'm going to have to do too much else. I might double up the spring on the trigger catch, but that would pretty much be it. I don't go too crazy with the internals. I'm still learning when it comes to that stuff. But what I saw when I looked at this shell was a combat shotgun. I thought this would be really cool if I could do something with it like that. Now, I mentioned pump action. I am doing a pump action conversion on this. The way that I'm doing that is, you can see here, there is a factory hole that I drilled through on the shell for the Raptorstrike. Now, I forget what that actually does. I think it just might be a normal screw that goes through there, but it's a pretty big hole already. And I've double checked to make sure that drilling a higher gauge bolt through there won't actually interfere with any of the internals. And so that is where I'm going to fit on this. Now, this is primed. It's not painted, but it's black primer, so it's already looking pretty cool. But this is the pump rail from a Nerf Vortex. And this is the piece that goes on it. So that is going to look really, really cool. And that, after a little bit of shaving this down, is pretty much a plug and play for this to attach onto. So I'll back up a little so you can see. So the pump rail is going to be here ahead of the magazine. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach the two screws that go into the pump handle, and I'm going to attach those with a brace going back to this, so that when I pump this, it also pumps this. So these handles here are going to be replaced with a bolt I'm going to send through here that's just going to attach to the brace. So this will still be the operative internal priming mechanism, but it's going to be moved when I move this. So I think it's going to look really cool when you see the whole thing going shh, shh. It's going to be really sort of dramatic and impactful. For the combat shotgun look, I'm also going to be putting in one of these worker mags. Now, these do not actually fit the Raptorstrike stock. You have to flare the mag well. So I thought that I was either going to have to shave down the magazine or shave down the inside of the mag well. But it turns out that when you actually take a Raptorstrike apart, when you actually take the screws out and lift this half off, this pops out. And this just feeds right in and clicks perfectly. So I don't know if that was intentional. Certainly doesn't seem like it was. But yeah, the Raptorstrike basically has a plug and play flared magwell feature. If you have worker mags or any other aftermarket mags that don't fit it properly, simply removing some of the screws and popping this thing out, this will slide in and click in. It's perfect. So that part was much easier than I thought it was going to be. For the stock, I have this. Now, I have no idea what gun this came from, but it is very much a sort of a high mobility combat shotgun type of look. And it just so happens, after a tiny bit of playing around, I just took one of my Dremel bits and just kind of shaved off some of the parts that were in here. There was a sort of a plastic sort of firewall piece that came through here just for stability, but I'm not going to need that because, as you can see, there are 3 factory bolt holes. I'm not even going to have to drill anything. I'm just going to have to make sure that I bore these out to the size of the bolt I want to use. And I can just send those straight through this thing. And it's not going to interfere with any of the internals or anything. So this just has to kind of squeeze in, rotate down, and push in a little bit. And yeah, I've got 3 bolts that I can send through here, and put washers and nuts on both sides, and that's going to be rock solid, and it's going to look super, super cool. So I was very happy to see that that I had a stock that was going to look good and worked functionally. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've got so far. I am going to add sort of a barrel shroud. I'm probably going to use some PVC pipe for that. I had an Adventure Force shotgun that I thought maybe I could cut the top off of, but it just doesn't. Where the pieces start to transition into the priming mechanism for the Adventure Force shotgun doesn't really work with where I want it to sit on here. So I might just have a PVC pipe that I drill out with holes, kind of like I did my Star Wars blaster, to give it kind of a Winchester Model 1897 trench gun sort of aesthetic, where it'll be a half PVC pipe that maybe starts back here somewhere and just goes all the way along and then goes into the full pipe going through here. So I'm not going to add an actual extended Nerf barrel. This will still be sort of where the actionable gun ends, but then it'll just have a giant PVC pipe on the end here that makes it look a lot more sort of aggro and intimidating than it is. And then after that, it's just painting it. So very excited about this project. I think it's going to be super cool when it's done, and hope you guys enjoy coming along for the ride with me.